New Google Flow update is insane. You are spending hours trying to make one decent video, jumping between 5 different apps, getting results that look nothing like what you imagined, losing time you do not have. And the whole time, a tool that could do all of it in one place has been sitting right there. Google just dropped a massive update to Flow, and most people have no idea it even happened. Hey, I'm Julian. Welcome back. If you're new here, I teach people how to actually use AI tools to do real work faster and better. Today, we're breaking down the new Google Flow update, what changed, what's new, how to use it, and yes, I'm going to tell you about the legal drama too, because it's actually wild. Let's get into it. So first, what is Google Flow? If you have never used it before, here's the quick version. Flow is Google's AI creative studio. It lives at labs.google Flow, and it was originally built around video generation using Google's VO models. You type a prompt, you get a video. That was the original idea, but that just changed in a big way. Google has now rebuilt Flow into something much bigger. It is no longer just a video tool. It is now a full creative hub where you can generate images, videos, and stories all in one place. No more jumping between apps, no more exporting from one tool and importing into another. Everything lives in Flow now. Yeah, and here's the part I want you to really pay attention to, because this is where it gets interesting. The first major piece of this update is something called Nano Banana. And yes, that is the actual name Google gave it. Nano Banana is Google's AI image generation model. Think of it like Google's version of Midjourney or DALL-E, but built right inside Flow. In the old version of Flow, if you wanted to create images, you had to go somewhere else. You'd use a separate tool like Whisk or ImageFX, which are other Google experiments, but now Nano Banana is fully built into the core of Flow. You do not need to leave the app. Yeah, here is what makes this even better. Image generation in Flow is free, 0 credits. You can generate as many images as you want with Nano Banana, and it does not cost you anything from your credit balance. That is a massive deal, because credit costs in AI tools add up fast. And Google just rolled out an even newer version called Nano Banana 2, which is now the default model for all Flow users. Nano Banana 2 is faster, sharper, and better at following your instructions. It delivers vibrant lighting, richer textures, and cleaner detail. The older Nano Banana Pro model is still available if you're on a paid plan and you want it for specific tasks, but Nano Banana 2 is what most people will use by default going forward. Google is also pulling their other image tools, Whisk and ImageFX, directly into Flow. They announced that project transfers from those tools into Flow will happen in early March 2026. So if you've been using those tools, your work will move over. Now, why does this matter so much? Because of what you can do with those images next. Here's where the real workflow magic happens, and this is the thing that changes everything about how you create videos with AI. Google's video model is called VO 3.1, and one of its most powerful features is something called ingredients to video. The idea is simple. Instead of trying to describe your entire video in one long text prompt, you first create images. Those images become your ingredients. Then you feed those images into VO 3.1, and it uses them to generate a video that actually matches what you had in mind. Think about how much time people waste trying to word a text prompt perfectly. You write something, you get a result that's close but not quite right. You rewrite it, you try again, you're still not there. Ingredients to video skips all of that. You build the look you want visually first, then generate the video from that. You could create a character image, a background image, and a specific texture or lighting style. Feed all 3 into VO 3.1 as ingredients and get a video that is consistent across all of those elements. Characters look the same, backgrounds match, the mood is right. That level of control was really hard to achieve with text prompts alone. This makes it much more reliable. And this is also when I want to mention a community that genuinely helped me wrap my head around workflows like this. When I first started digging into Google Flow, I was overwhelmed by how fast things were changing. That's when I found a community called AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 members, all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It helped me figure out which workflows save time versus which ones just waste it. The community shares real use cases and practical examples of people actually using these tools. If you're serious about getting better at AI tools and implementing them into your work, check it out. Link is in the description. Now let's talk about resolution and quality, because this is a big part of the update and it depends on which plan you're on. On the free tier, you get 100 credits to start, plus 50 more credits every day. You have access to Nano Banana 2, VO 3.1, text to video, ingredients to video, frames to video, video extension, the ability to insert and remove objects, and image upscaling up to 2K. That is a lot for free. If you upgrade to Google AI Pro, that's $19.99 per month. Right now, there's a promotional offer making it free for the first month. You get 1,000 monthly credits, 1080p upscaling, and higher limits on image generation. The top tier is Google AI Ultra at $249.99 per month, currently discounted to $164.99 per month for the first 3 months. This is where you unlock 4K image the video upscaling. If you're creating content for large screens, presentations, or high-end projects, 4K is genuinely a significant difference in quality. All videos generated through Google's tools also include a SynthID digital watermark embedded invisibly in the content. This is Google's way of marking AI-generated content for transparency. On the Ultra tier, Google also has C2PA content credentials embedded in images, which is a metadata-based provenance system. Let me walk you through what the actual creation process looks like now, because the new interface is also redesigned, and there's a new feature called the asset grid that you need to know about. When you open a project in Flow, you now have an asset grid. It is basically a visual workspace where all of your generated images and video clips live in one place. You can search through everything, filter by type, sort by when things were created, and organize assets into collections. So if you're working on multiple scenes or variations of the same project, you can actually keep things organized. This was a real pain point before because everything just kind of piled up. The editing tools have also been upgraded. You can extend a video clip directly in Flow to make it longer. You can control camera motion, choosing different styles of movement for your shots. You can insert objects into a scene or remove them, and then there is the lasso tool there. The lasso tool is genuinely useful. You hover over an image, draw a box around a specific area, type a short instruction like change the sky to golden hour or remove the background object, and it rewrites just that part of the image while keeping everything else the same. That kind of precise regional editing used to require a separate editing application. VO 3.1 also now supports native vertical video in a 9:16 aspect ratio. So if you're creating content for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram Reels, you can generate it natively in portrait format without cropping or quality loss. That is a new addition that makes Flow much more practical for social content creators. Let me give you a prompting approach that actually works with this new system, because the workflow is visual first now. The way you prompt changes a bit. Start with your images. Use Nano Banana 2 to generate reference images for each element you care about. Your main character or subject, your background or environment, your lighting style. Think of it like building a mood board inside Flow before you ever touch video generation. Be specific in your image prompts. Describe the exact look, the lighting conditions, the angle, the color palette. The more precise your image ingredients are, the more consistent your video output will be. When you move into VO 3.1 for video, add motion direction to your prompt. Simple language works well. Something like slow pan, low motion, cinematic helps avoid the jittery, unstable motion that sometimes happens with AI video. Keep motion instructions simple and clear. Use the asset grid to keep your ingredients organized by scene or sequence. Label your collections. When you're working on something with multiple shots, organization saves you from losing track of which version was the good one. And if you're creating for social platforms, set your aspect ratio to 9:16 from the start in Flow. Do not generate in landscape and crop later. You will lose quality and framing. Now, I have to talk about the legal situation because it is genuinely interesting and it might actually affect the future of this tool. Autodesk, the company behind AutoCAD, and a range of other software tools, has sued Google over the name Flow. Autodesk has its own product called Flow, which is a production management and visual effects tool for the film and television industry. They've been using that name since September 2022. Google launched its Flow in May 2025. According to the lawsuit filed on February 6, 2026 in the Northern District of California, Autodesk claims that Google actually told them it would not commercialize a product under that name. Then, according to the complaint, Google filed a trademark application in the Kingdom of Tonga where trademark filings are not publicly accessible and use that to pursue US trademark protection. Autodesk says this caused confusion in the same professional creative market they both serve. Google has not publicly responded to the lawsuit yet. The case is ongoing. This could result in a settlement, a ruling, or potentially Google rebranded in the product. So keep an eye on this. If the name Flow changes down the road, that's why. This does not affect the tools inside it at all. Nano Banana, VEO, the workflows, the features, those are not going anywhere. It's a naming dispute, not a technical one, but it's worth knowing about. Here's where we are with Google Flow right now. It has become a genuinely useful all-in-one creative studio. Free image generation with Nano Banana 2, ingredients to video with VO 3.1 for more consistent and controlled video output, native vertical video for social platforms, a redesigned interface with the asset grid that actually makes project management possible, regional editing with the Lasso tool, and 4K capability for those on the Ultra plan. The free tier gives you real access to real tools. You don't need to spend anything to start using this and see if it works for your projects. If you want to go deeper on AI creative workflows and see how people are actually applying these tools in their work, check out AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 people learning how to use AI effectively, sharing real experiences about what's working and what's not, which tools are worth your time, and which ones to skip. No hype, just solid, practical information from people who are actually in the trenches doing the work. It has helped me stay on top of updates like this one and figure out how to actually apply them. Link is in the description if you want to check it out. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links are in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes in there, plus access to our community of 46,000 members who are getting real results with AI. Drop a comment below and let me know, have you tried Google Flow yet? What are you planning to use it for? I read every comment. See you in the next one.